In the past few months, Kaduna State in northwest Nigeria has been in the news for the wrong reasons, mostly for the mass abduction of hundreds of school children there, the agonizing suspense that lasted all of 17 days before they were released, and the pervading sense of the unknown, which has gradually become a part of everyday life in the state. Kaduna's strategic position as home to the highest concentration of Nigeria's military assets has done very little to dissuade the everyday attacks, and despite repeated assurances by the state government, there seems to be a certain sense of resignation on the part of the people. So what can be done to strengthen this partnership of the government and the governed to make Kaduna State safer? Right now, we are being joined by Kassim Balarabe, the son of the first democratically elected governor of Kaduna State, Balarabe Musa. Good afternoon. Welcome to Newsday. Thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Yeah, good afternoon. I hope you're all fine.
Yes, we are. Thank you so much. So what do you think is responsible, for this rising wave of bandit attacks in Kaduna State?
Low level of education, absence of education, formal education in particular, is one of the major factors responsible for most of this kind of crimes being committed in the North. Because if you look at the analysis of education in Nigeria, the North is far left behind in terms of education. So it is the major reason, actually. And
go ahead.
Well, I mean, if that's the major reason, how then it seems, that you have a bigger problem, now, especially as these attacks are focused, it seems they're focused now on schools. So how then do we tackle this issue of low education while at the same time keeping the state safe?
Well, it's to enhance education first, because most of the participant actors of this crime, if you look at them, even by mere looking, you know that they have not been educated. So, and that is what, many prominent people who care most about Nigeria been calling for: education. Not even agriculture, economy, but education, which seems or being categorized as the main route for development,
And just like Timmy Tokpa said, the irony between the fact that education is the key to stopping most of these behaviors and the fact that these schools are the ones that are constantly being targeted, it seems like a hard situation to even begin to tackle. But the new governor, how do you feel he has been handling as best as he can the insecurity in the state, especially these last few incidences of kidnappings?
Well, the last few incidents that happened, he has tried his best, but it is something that is just temporary. It's not permanent. I'm talking about permanent solution. So whoever is going to quench the insecurity issue, maybe by using force or by using security or military, is quenching it for temporary reason. But I'm talking about a solution, a permanent solution to it. We have been agitating, that's my party, political party has been agitating, like my late father, Balarabe Musa, late Chief Gani Fawomi, and many others have been agitating for enhancement of education, particularly the Almajiri system, that has been a system of education in the North since before the independence or before the coming of the colonials. So that has to be reformed and modernized.
But then there are some people who believe, that also lack of good governance, poverty, unemployment, are also contributing factors to insecurity in the state. What are your thoughts on this? Yes,
they are. But education is the most important in terms of development. It's a route to development. And poverty, with education, poverty can be reduced or can be nearly absent. So that is my own view. Education is the most important thing. You see some regions or some areas where there are no economic activities, there are poverty, but you might not really see the poverty being beyond the people's thinking and actions where education is present. You see? So like some other part of the country who have a high level of education, for instance, some states in the southwest, they have high level of education. Look at the crime there is lower than any part of the North, including the middle belt, states that are not purely far north, you see.
And in any situation where there is violence or fear in the land, citizen participation is necessary or it's advocated for. How best can those in Kaduna State work with the government in terms of, I don't know, ratting out some of these non-state actors, giving intelligence information beforehand? And how can they close that gap of fear and distrust that some people have for the government and some police and military personnel?
Okay, like now what we are trying to do, we are trying to immortalize late Chief Ganifa Omi and combining it with a memorial of Alhaji Balarabe Musa, who happens to be my father. And the governor has approved our program, which is going to be held in Kaduna on the 22nd of April 2024. So by approving it, and one of our major objectives is the Almajiri system. And through the Almajiri system, if the governor can look into it and assist, then we can collaborate the Quranic education and the Western education. Therefore, thereby, the Malams and the Almajiri can also help in terms of enhancing security, like giving information, because they are everywhere within the state. So when government bring such kind of people closer to them, we believe that the security can also be enhanced through that way, through the Malams, through the Almajiris. Particularly the Almajiris cannot be suspected to be giving information to the government or to the Malams. So, if such kind of program can be designed or organized, it's another way of, giving information to the government. And the governor has tried by approving our program, So it's a way forward. And this program has been organized by our Director General, who happens to be Dr. Tanko Yunusa. So when the time comes after the event or during the event, we will try and suit to the governor and tell him how important this program is going to be and how we can assist him in terms of fighting security. Because this is something that we cannot just sit down and be looking. Definitely, we have to think of ways to reduce or eliminate this thing. I know eliminating it is going to be a big problem. Particularly, it has to involve the will of our leaders and the security agencies. So there are many factors that combine in security or insecurity of Nigeria, particularly in the northern part of Nigeria, where we have abundant kidnapping and Boko Haram and things like that. And this, our insecurity in the northern part of Nigeria, you can see is worse than many countries in West Africa, and in the world. Because of...
Well, let me just, briefly interrupt you because we're almost completely out of time. I know that Governor Obasani, a couple of weeks back, called for a regional security plan, as a way of combating insecurity in the northern region. What are your thoughts on this? How possible will it be, for the northern states to come together and probably, put up a force or something, to fight this?
Well, I'm not a security expert. I don't have much knowledge in security knowledge, but what I believe, education, economic activities like agriculture in the northern part of Nigeria can be a permanent solution to insecurity. Although immediate and temporary solution also need to be taken. So the security have to come for immediate and temporary solution while we continue to pursue the permanent solution like agriculture and education. So combining these four, I think we will find a permanent solution to the insecurity. But education is key and very, very important.
Yeah,
that is why our leaders, like late Alhaji Balarabe Musa, late Chief Ganifa Omi, had been agitating. Even Ganifa Omi had been giving scholarship to the less privileged, you know, and
Right.
yes.
Well, we hope everything works out as it should. Thank you so much for joining us
Thank
this
you very
afternoon,
much.
Kassim
Thank you very
Balarabe.
much. Yeah, I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful.